you're right. There was a book of Yasha. There is a book of Yasha.
Right.
But that book that you got that said the book of Yasha is not the book of Yasha.
It's not that.
Because when you read into that book is bullshit, man. Because they tell you in that book, that phony bootleg book of Yasha, which is not the real book of Yasha. All right.
Right.
It said that when Esau sold his birthright, and the reason why he was famished, because he got into a fight with Nimrod. Now Nimrod was already fucking dead, man.
Right.
You ain't read that part, right? Hey man, and when you read the story, right? Hey brother, when you read the story, because I said let me keep reading, let me read other stories, right? So I read the part where Jacob, there's a title is Jacob runs into Nimrod, right? So that Jacob, because Nimrod is a mighty hunter, right? So he was only about 500 years old, right? And he was still hunting, and he had his gods with him, right? And then Esau was hunting deer, right? And they kind of looked at each other. It looked like
Nimrod.
Nimrod, like
That looks like Esau.
It looks like Esau, man. Then they just started fighting, man. And then he said he killed one god, then he killed the other god, and finally he killed Nimrod. And then the other gods were coming, so he ran to Jacob. Jacob had that pottage. He said, "Feed me, my brother, with that pottage, for I am faint. Give me up that birthright. What does a birthright to me?" And that's, in other words, if he didn't have that fight, he would have kept his birthright. Isn't that fucking bullshit? That's bullshit, man.
You get better stories from that so-called Jewish mother.
Hey, look, I'm not making it up. Go online, put in the book of Yasha, and just read through it, man. You will crack up, man.
I got something.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as goads and as nails fastened by the master of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh.
Yeah, because we do go into other books. We might say, give me the Bible dictionary, the Zandavin Bible Dictionary, or we might have the Smith Bible Dictionary, or the Harvard Bible Dictionary. But we don't go into the book. We don't read the dictionaries like it's the scriptures.
Right.
Okay, let's open up the Bible Dictionary. We read the scriptures, and then to get a little bit more, build on the point, we might go into the Bible Dictionary.
Right.
But we really don't need the Bible Dictionary, man.
To support the point.
But that's what these guys, False Prophet 666,
Right.
he made a video, that video with all them books, man. He had about 100 different books. There was one book called the Sarcophagus.
Right.
Something Sarcophagus.
Yeah, that's what he was trying
all
to
these
say.
fucking books. And I'm looking at these damn books, at the authors of these books, and they're all Edomites, man. They're all so-called Jews. Don't you know there's a thing called disinformation, man?
That's right. Disinformation. And they're all tied in with the elites, the Illuminati. Yeah. All these so-called, like the Kibra Negas. Now, we had this dude with Elder Tahar was dealing with.
But explain it right. Tell them the way we got in contact with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Sweeney.
Yeah.
Is he was on Nate Satan's site.
Nate Satan.
Now, Nate Satan, when we first got on YouTube, we found out that Nate Satan was on there maybe like a year before us, all right?
Right.
And I used to go on his page, and he didn't have too many videos up. And what he used to do was, he'd be out there speaking in Brooklyn, right? Eastern Parkway. And then he might be getting into it, breaking down scriptures, and all of a sudden, 10 minutes in, it cuts.
Right.
And there's no part 2, no part 3.
Right.
So people would say, well, where's part... I was getting into it, man.
Right.
You know? So anyway, they would have, the comment board. So I guess he was getting into it with this guy named Sweeney, which was a dread Rastafari.
Yep.
So they were going back and forth about that African thing, and the last guy to make the comment was Sweeney, right? And this guy never came back.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Let me go in there and cut this guy.
Yeah.
So I went in there and cut the dude. Then he tried to go back and forth. Then I called these brothers up. I said, let's do a 3-way on this motherfucker, man.
Right.
And brother, we just lit his ass up, man.
Right,
you know,
lit up.
And then you brothers got off, and I stayed on. Then I went to sleep. Then I got up, and then you brothers, then you got on him. And this guy got so messed up that he said that you brothers know the truth, man.
Right, that's what he said.
You brothers know this truth.
Right.
I don't know it. But then an hour later, he came back. Fuck you, this, that, and the other.
Demon hopped back on him.
Man.
Right.
You know?
The point I was going to make was that he brought out a book called The Kibra Negas. Then when we researched it, we found out the Kibra Negas was written by a so-called white man. All right, and that dude was tied in with the Illuminati.
They tell you he was tied in. He was a Jesuit.
Jesuit.
Yeah. Because what we do is this.
There you go.
When somebody, and you just picked up on it yourself, and you use it too. When somebody throws in a book like this, and they do it to kind of scare you.
Right.
You ever read the kid? That's what he did.
And the cop.
Have you ever read? This is before I told y'all.
Right.
Have you ever read the books outside the Bible? So I said, what books are you talking about? For one, the Kibra Negas. I never heard of the goddamn Kibra Negas, but you know what I did? I Googled the word, and it gave me all that information, and I found out that the original text was written in Coptic, which is nothing but Greek.
That's right.
Which it has a couple, maybe 2 or 3 more alphabet characters than the actual Greek, but it's actual Greek. If you can read Greek, you can read the Coptic, all right?
Right.
So what I told him was this. I said, do you know about the original, the Kibra Negas? He said, what do you mean? I said, do you know how to read? Have you read the original? Yes, I have. I said, so you telling me that you can read Coptic? No, brother, I can't. And then I said, I believe you came in, and then you looked up that there was an Edomite that wrote that shit.
Yeah.
EA something that wrote that shit.
Yeah.
And it said, when you looked that guy up, it said he was down with the Illuminati.
He was a Jesuit.
He was a Jesuit. It said he was a Jesuit, man.
And then the Jesuits, they were instrumental in changing books and changing history.
Taking the Apocrypha out of the Bible.
Right, taking the Apocrypha. Yeah, the Jesuits. Christopher Columbus was a Jesuit.
That's right.
Right.
So they do that just to get Nick. Because you know what, Jake? You know what I found out about Jake? Jake likes to get into the hidden books.
Right.
You know, the lost book of Barabbas.
Yeah. Frills.
You know, they like because when we first came on, that's why a lot of Jakes don't really get into us that much, because we didn't go into the next group of books. We didn't take them on the next. First of all, nigga, you can't even you can't even understand the Bible, man.
Yeah, you can't even break down Jesus wept.
Paul said, Paul said, I can't speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, because you're still babes.
That's right.
You can't even get the milk scriptures. How you gonna go into anything else?
That's right.
Hey, if you ask them what's the shortest verse in the Bible, they can't tell you, which is John 11:35.
Right.
Jesus wept.
Yep.
Then they can't even break down that.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
This is Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's right.
For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Oh, that's why Elder Tar said earlier, all we know is this: everything is going to be revealed. The truth is going to come out.
That's right.
Yeah, because you really couldn't argue with that dude. Because at first we thought he knew a little something, man. At first we thought it was going to be a little challenge. He didn't know nothing. All he knew was emotions, man.
Right.
Like you said, all he knew is what his mother taught him.
Right.
You know?
I got something else.
Chats with Mama.
This is 1 Corinthians 13:9. For we speak in part and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away.
Yeah, and that which is perfect is Yahweh Shai. When He comes back, then we're going to know everything. Because I think there's a scripture where Yahweh Shai told the disciples, you won't have to ask me anything in that day, because you're going to know all things. Go on.
Verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity.
When you look that word charity up in the Hebrew, the word there is ahab, which means love. That's what it means. So that word charity means love.
And right here, when it says, for now we see through a glass darkly, the precept on it says, where is it? Number 4, in a riddle.
Right, in parables, dark sayings. Hey, because the time is going to come when Yahweh Shai come, we won't need no parables. We won't need no dark sayings. Everything is going to be right out in the open.
Right.
You know?
That's why we constantly got to go through this book, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, if you go to Lamentations, right? Lamentations 2:19. It says, "Arise, crowd." Well, I'll let you read it.
Okay.
Now that's what we're doing. That's why to the other people that can't get it, it seems to be parables and dark sayings, because we're in the night. But Yahushua is going to bring the day, and when the day comes, everybody can see.
Right.
You know.
Lamentations 2:19. Arise, cry out in the night.
And that's us. We're crying out in the night. The night is spiritually talking about the majority of our people that are in the dark.